If you are over 60 and listening to me right now, I want to talk to you very honestly. Have you ever gone to bed at night and noticed that your legs feel cold, even when the rest of your body feels warm? Have you ever felt that heavy, tight sensation in your calves as if your legs were filled with sand instead of blood? Maybe your ankles look swollen by the evening. Maybe there is a tingling or numb feeling in your feet. Or maybe the hardest part comes in the morning when you stand up and feel stiff, slow, unsure of your first steps. So many people are told the same thing. This is just aging. This is normal after a certain age. This is something you have to live with. But I want to say this very clearly from the beginning. This is not just aging, and it is not something you are meant to accept. What you are feeling is not weakness. It is not failure. It is not your body giving up. It is circulation asking for help. Tonight, I want to show you something very simple you can do at home. No pills, no machines, no dangerous exercises, nothing extreme. Just garlic, used in a very specific way, this very night. And before you think I already eat garlic, let me say this. Most people eat garlic. But almost nobody uses garlic in the way that actually reaches the legs. And that difference matters more than you realize. Because when blood flow slows down, something much deeper begins to fade. When blood stops flowing properly, independence quietly disappears. Before we go any further, I want to offer you something. If you would like a small gift that completes what I'm going to teach you today, write in the comments right now. I want to improve my health. When I see your message, I'll make sure you receive it. Now let me help you understand what is really happening inside your legs. Most people think poor circulation starts in the feet or the calves, but it doesn't. Poor circulation does not start in the legs, it starts in the blood. As we age, gravity works against us. Blood has to travel down into the legs and then fight its way back up to the heart. But over time, the arteries become stiffer. The blood vessels become narrower. Inflammation builds quietly along the walls, not with pain at first, not with alarms, just with subtle signs. Legs that feel cold even in summer, calf cramps that wake you at night, swelling around the ankles by evening, fatigue when walking short distances. That heavy feeling people describe as dead legs. This does not mean your body is broken. It means the pathways are blocked, narrowed, inflamed, or tired. And here is the hopeful part. Blood vessels are not lifeless pipes. They are living tissue. They respond to signals. And when you give them the right signal, they soften, open, and respond even later in life. That is why I'm talking about garlic today, not as a seasoning, not as an old folk remedy, but as a biochemical message. Garlic is unique because when it is used correctly, it releases compounds that speak directly to your arteries. They speak to the inner lining of the blood vessels, what we call the endothelium. This lining decides whether your vessels stay tight or whether they relax and allow blood to flow. Most foods never reach this level, but garlic can. When activated properly, garlic sends a signal that says, open, relax. Let the blood through. I often describe it like this. It's like opening stuck doors inside your blood vessels. Doors that have been closed for years begin to loosen. Blood moves more freely. Oxygen reaches the legs. Warmth returns. Pressure eases. But this only happens if garlic is used in one very specific way. Not chopped and cooked quickly, not swallowed in capsules, not hidden in food. What I'm going to show you works because it respects how the body actually listens. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to use garlic tonight so that it reaches where you need it most, your legs, your calves, your feet, and helps restore the flow that keeps you moving, steady, and independent. Stay with me because this is simpler than you think and far more powerful than you've been told. Now let me show you how to use garlic the right way. This is the part that changes everything, because garlic is not powerful by accident. It is powerful by design, but only if we respect how it works. First, let me be very clear about something important. Garlic should never be cooked for this purpose. Heat destroys the very compounds we are trying to use. Once garlic is cooked, its message to the blood vessels is gone. What we need is raw garlic, alive, active, and not a large amount. This is not about force, it is about precision. A small clove is enough. Now here is the part almost no one knows. When you cut or crush garlic, you must let it rest. Garlic contains two separate substances that only come together when the clove is broken. When they meet, they form a powerful compound. But that reaction takes time. So after you cut or crush the garlic, you let it sit quietly for several minutes. No rushing, no mixing yet. This resting time is what allows garlic to become medicinal instead of just flavorful. Now let me tell you why night is so important. At night, your nervous system slows down, your heart rate softens, your blood pressure naturally lowers, and your blood vessels become more receptive. When you take garlic at night, it doesn't have to compete with stress, movement, or digestion. It enters a calmer bloodstream. And while you sleep, something beautiful begins to happen. The garlic compounds gently signal your blood vessels to relax. They support vasodilation. They reduce the low-grade inflammation that keeps vessels tight and narrow. Blood begins to move more freely, not just to the heart, not just to the brain, but all the way down to the calves, to the ankles, to the feet. This is why the legs respond so well at night. Gravity is no longer pulling blood downward aggressively. The body is horizontal, the vessels are relaxed, so the signal reaches deep. Many people ask me, how will I know if it's working? The signs are gentle. You may notice a soft warmth in your legs while you rest, not heat, just warmth. You may feel less tightness in your calves, less pressure in your ankles. And very often people tell me this. They wake up in the morning and their legs feel lighter, less swollen, less stiff, less heavy. Not perfect overnight, but different. And that difference is important because it tells you the blood is moving again. This method works not because garlic is strong, but because the body is intelligent. When you give it the right signal at the right time, it responds. And this is why I always say, we don't force healing, we invite it. In the next part, I want to share a real story of someone who thought their leg problems were permanent until circulation quietly began to return, and what that changed for their life. I want to share a story with you now, not to impress you, but to help you feel understood. Some time ago, I met a woman in her late 70s, sharp mind, gentle voice, but her legs told a different story. She told me her feet were always cold, even under thick blankets. By the afternoon, her ankles were swollen, and walking even short distances felt uncertain, not painful exactly, uncertain. She said something that stayed with me. I don't trust my legs anymore. And that fear was growing. She wasn't afraid of discomfort. She wasn't afraid of stiffness. What scared her most was the thought of needing help, of holding on to furniture, of avoiding walks, of planning her day around how far she could go. She felt her world quietly shrinking. Like many seniors, she had been told the same thing for years. This is normal. This is age. There's nothing to do. But her body told a different story. We didn't change everything at once. No extreme routines, no exhausting exercises. We focused on one thing first, restoring circulation gently. She began using garlic at night, exactly as I showed you earlier. Nothing dramatic happened in the first few days, and that's important to say. But after a couple of weeks, she noticed something subtle. Her socks felt warmer in the morning. Her ankles were less tight by evening. Then something more important happened. She felt steadier when she stood up. Her steps felt more confident. She told me, I'm not rushing to sit down anymore. And after several weeks, the swelling had reduced noticeably. Walking no longer felt like a risk. It felt like movement again. What changed wasn't just her legs. It was her sense of control. She wasn't cured, she wasn't suddenly young, but she was no longer afraid of her own body. And that matters more than numbers or tests, because what scared her most wasn't pain. It was dependence. And when blood flow returned even gently, so did her confidence. That is why I care so deeply about circulation, not because of charts or diagrams, but because of what it gives people back, the ability to stand, to walk, to choose, And in the next part, I want to talk about the mistakes many people make with garlic that quietly cancel all of these benefits, so you can avoid them and get the results your body is capable of. Now, before we go any further, I need to gently protect you from something, because I have seen many people try garlic and then say, it didn't work for me. And almost every time it wasn't garlic that failed them, it was how it was used. Let me walk you through the most common mistakes without judgment, only understanding. The first mistake is cooking garlic. I know this surprises people. Garlic smells wonderful when it's cooked. It tastes comforting. It feels nourishing. But heat destroys the very compounds that speak to your blood vessels. Once garlic is cooked, it may still be food, but it is no longer medicine for circulation. The message is gone. The second mistake is garlic capsules. They look convenient, they promise precision, but most capsules contain dried, processed garlic. The active compounds are unstable. By the time they reach your bloodstream, the signal is weak or missing. Your body doesn't recognize it in the same way. The third mistake is mixing garlic with sugar, honey, sweet drinks, sweetened remedies. Sugar tightens blood vessels. It feeds inflammation. So when garlic is taken with sugar, the body receives mixed messages. One says open, the other says contract, and the result is confusion. The fourth mistake is timing, taking garlic in the morning, at random hours. In the middle of a busy, stressful day, at those times the body is distracted. Blood vessels are already tight. Digestion is competing. The signal gets lost. This is why I say this very clearly. Garlic is powerful, but only when the body can recognize it. And the body recognizes garlic best when it is raw, rested, respected, and taken at the right time. There is no shame in having done it differently before. We learn as we go. Healing is not about perfection. It is about alignment. When the message is clear, the body listens. And when the body listens, circulation responds. In the next part, I want to speak gently but honestly about who should be careful with garlic and how to use it responsibly so it supports you instead of causing concern. Now, there's something very important I need to say here. Because when we talk about natural remedies, people often assume that natural means harmless, and that's not always true. Natural does not mean careless. Garlic is gentle, but it is also active. So there are a few situations where I always advise extra care. If you are currently taking blood thinners or medications that affect clotting, garlic can enhance their effect. That doesn't mean you must avoid it completely, but it does mean you should speak with your healthcare provider before using it regularly. If your blood pressure tends to run very low, garlic can sometimes lower it further. That may feel like lightheadedness, weakness, or dizziness when you stand. If that's you, start very gently, or wait until you've had professional guidance. And if you've had recent surgery, especially vascular or abdominal surgery, this is not the time to experiment. The body needs stability during healing. I share this not to scare you, but to respect your body. Real healing is never reckless. It is thoughtful, it is paced, it is kind. When we use natural tools wisely, they work with the body, not against it. And for most seniors, when used correctly and responsibly, garlic can be one of the safest ways to support circulation gently over time. Now that we've covered safety, let me show you what begins to change in the body when circulation improves, because the effects go far beyond just warm feet. Now let me set something very important in place. Healing does not arrive all at once. The body improves in layers, and circulation, especially in the legs, follows a very predictable rhythm. In the first week, most people don't notice dramatic changes yet. What they notice is a sensation, a gentle warmth in the calves, less heaviness at night, a feeling that the legs are more awake. This is the blood beginning to move more freely. In weeks 2 and 3, something different happens. Walking feels lighter. The tightness in the ankles eases. You don't feel as drained after short distances. This is when inflammation starts to calm down and vessels respond more consistently. By the end of the first month, the change becomes unmistakable. Feet stay warmer. Swelling reduces noticeably. Balance feels more stable. Many people tell me they walk with more confidence without constantly thinking about their legs. And there are very clear signs that tell you this is working. Fewer nighttime cramps, less swelling around the ankles, shoes fitting more comfortably by the end of the day. These are not coincidences. They are the body responding to improved blood flow. This is why I always say, consistency matters more than intensity. You are not forcing change, you are allowing it. And when circulation improves, independence quietly returns. I want to speak to something deeper now, because behind cold legs, swelling, and slow walking, there is often fear. The fear of falling, the fear of becoming dependent, the fear of needing help just to do simple things. Most seniors don't talk about this out loud, but they feel it every time they hesitate before standing up, every time they reach for furniture, for balance, every time they think twice before leaving the house. And I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is not failing you. Your body still knows how to circulate. It still remembers how to send blood where it's needed. It simply needs the right signal. For many years, your body has been doing its best with limited resources. Now, you are finally giving it a message it understands. And when circulation returns, something else returns with it. Confidence, stability, freedom. This is not about walking faster or pushing harder. It's about trusting your body again, because independence doesn't disappear overnight, and it doesn't come back overnight either. But every small improvement is a step back toward yourself, and you deserve that. Before we finish, let me remind you of something simple. If you want the small gift that completes what I've shared with you today, just write in the comments, "I want to improve my health." I'll make sure it reaches you. And if this video helped you understand your body a little better, I invite you gently to support this channel. You can tap the like button, you can subscribe, and you can share this with another senior who struggles with cold legs, swelling, or fear of falling, because healing is easier when we walk together. This is not about chasing quick fixes. It's about building a community of people who still believe in their bodies. Now, as we close, I want you to picture something. You're getting into bed tonight. Your legs feel lighter. The tightness has softened. Blood is moving gently all the way down to your feet. There is warmth. There is relief. There is calm. Your body is doing what it was always meant to do. And when circulation returns, life follows.